I'm D'Angelo Jones. I'm a defender for Westminster Soccer, and you're watching Titantown Sports.
Good afternoon. Welcome back into Titantown Studios. I'm Ben Kelly for Titantown Sports. With me, Tom Rook. And Tom, the common misconception that as the school year winds down, so do athletics, that is not the case at all.
Absolutely not the case. Also nationally, Ben, the week of the NFL draft here in Pittsburgh. Exciting times for sure.
We talked a lot about the track and field team here last year, and Seth Carroll got in focus along with Braylon Juzak with Zach Kovell, who had quite the interesting journey in choosing the Westminster track and field program.
Coming back!
Not every athlete can say they juggled multiple sports at once, but for freshman Zach Kovell, that was his normal in high school, where he made his mark as a dual-sport athlete, breaking records and scoring over 1,000 career points in basketball.
The thing that made track the clear decision for me was my high school head coach. My high school track coach did a lot to help me get recruited. He sent out lots of emails to college coaches, got in contact with a lot of college coaches on my behalf, which opened the door for that opportunity to happen. If you would have told me freshman through junior year that I'd be running track in college, I wouldn't have believed you. But really my senior year, it all kind of clicked, and I realized, like, hey, I can do this at the collegiate level.
After finding success on both the court and the track, Kovell faced an uncertain decision about what his future would hold.
The hardest challenge was having to go straight from basketball season to track season. It's two completely different types of in shape between basketball and track. Basketball, you're going down and back, super endurance type, and then going straight into the track sprints where you have to be boom, boom, boom for one event, and that's it. So being able to get back into my track shape directly after basketball was tough to stay.
Kovell explains how balancing both sports presented different challenges, but ultimately kept him on his toes.
Being able to focus on one sport, I think is really nice because it allows me to keep my mental locked on one thing and really to be able to improve myself in the one sport over all seasons, not just in the spring season like it was in high school. I think it's really benefited me being able to train all year round instead of having to take that break in the winter for basketball. So overall, I think it's been an easier adjustment.
Although Kovell has moved on from basketball, the game still means a lot to him and remains close to his heart.
I definitely do miss competing in basketball. There's a lot of times where I've gone and played basketball on campus just randomly with my buddies, and it really makes me realize how much I miss the sport, although I don't play it anymore.
Kovell shows us that balancing two sports and being a multi-sport athlete isn't easy, but it's definitely not impossible. For WCN, this is Seth Carroll and Braylon Juzak, and we'll send it back to the desk.
Welcome back into Titantown Studios. I'm Ethan Kurtz on the mound with Titan junior ace Jon Albers. Jon, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, thanks for having me here. I'm real excited to be here.
Absolutely, Jon. So yesterday, a split with Teal in Game 1, the Titans falling. Then in Game 2, you pitched 5 innings, throwing 87 pitches, allowing just 1 run. You also strike out 3. What was going your way in Game 2 that allowed you guys to get that win?
Yeah, I think just kind of capitalizing on the momentum of the team, like leaning on you. We lost that Game 1. We knew we had to come out and get a win Game 2. So that pressure, people say pressure makes diamonds, and that's kind of that feeling there. So yeah,
absolutely. You've pitched in 9 games so far this season, a 7-2 record from the team in games you've pitched, and you've also gotten credited with 2 wins. In 2026, what's been going your way so far?
Yeah, I just think mixing my pitches and staying confident. I think the pitching staff as a whole has done a really good job pushing each other. We really lean on each other and understand no team is ever going to be good without a good pitching staff. So kind of showing up to practice every day and understanding how important our role is and mixing our pitches game in and game out.
Yeah, one game that the pitching staff has been incredible and was that doubleheader against W&J. You threw 102 pitches over 6 innings. That was also the first time that the Titans swept W&J since 2003. What was it like kind of being a part of history there over 23 years since you guys last swept the Presidents?
Yeah, it was a really good feeling, I think, for the whole team. And I can't give more praise to Jacob Harrelson, freshman. If you follow Titan sports, I'm sure you've heard he's having an amazing season.
Yep.
And he really set us up for that in that game one, give us a great start, and then heading into game two, I knew we had them on their heels, right? We were ready to push them over, and I just had to go out there and do my part and execute, and yeah, we got it done.
You mentioned Harrelson, the Titans as a team combining for the lowest ERA in the PAC. How important is your defense as well as the rest of the bullpen in making that happen?
Yeah, it's honestly a lot of credit to the defense. I believe we're also first in fielding percentage.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, so it's huge. It speaks to what we practice, what Coach Riley preaches every day at practice. Really working hard on our defense, 27 outs, making plays, and I guess our staff really understands that our defense has our backs every single pitch. So we're trying to get the ball to them. We're not trying to go out there and punch every dude out. We're trying to get the ball on the ground and I guess get our defense to make plays.
This Saturday, the defense will need to make plays against Allegheny, a doubleheader that will be crucial for playoff implications, neck and neck in the standings. What's it going to take to get one or bring home the sweep on Saturday? Yeah,
we have two dogs on the mound, Josh Reed and Tyson Djokovic, and it starts with them. Getting ahead early too. Offense strikes early. We seem to do well. So I guess we seem to have their number a little bit in the recent years. So just getting after them and no rest really. Every single pitch, working hard. This doubleheader will set up the PAC tournament, which comes May 6th. Of course, last year a deep run in the PAC championship tournament. What's it going to take this time to bring home that ultimate goal of a PAC title? Really is believing ourselves. I think last year there was sort of a feeling once we got to the championship where it was almost like a surprise. Like going down. We had a little bit of a rough season record-wise, and then we got to the tournament and kind of turned it on, showed ourselves that we could play this way. And so I think it just comes down to believing ourselves from the first game and understanding that we are the team to beat. And yeah. Absolutely, John. Thank you so much for joining me. I have to head on over to Old Main for this week's edition of The View from the Tower, so I'm going to go run. In the meantime, though, we have RJ Scott, who sat down with Titan men's lacrosse head coach Anthony Accardi.
Today I'm here with head coach Anthony Accardi, who's the men's lacrosse coach, and Coach Accardi has been winning recently as he has won his last 3 games, obviously with his team. They beat Washington Jefferson 20-3 in a senior day game, and now, in 8 hours from now, he will face Allegheny to see if they can get a home playoff game, correct? Is that what it is?
That's correct.
So, Coach, I mean, been in this position before. Run me down what it takes to consistently be successful with this team, and obviously losing a bunch of singers last year with Gavin Jones, Brody McGinnis. Tell me how you bounced back this year and kept the same mindset and mantra.
Definitely a new look team this year for the Titans. We have 26 freshmen and sophomores. They just put in the work. It's really on them. We try to put them in the right spots as a staff, and I think this season was a true testament to the guys. We started the season 1-4 through a tough non-conference stretch, and then, I think that spring break trip really helped us. Back-to-back overtime wins really sparked this team, and if we get a win tonight, finish the season winning 10 of our final 12 games, which would be really impressive to do so.
And one thing I've noticed the past few years you've been here is that you always start off with a very tough non-conference schedule. What does that do for you later in the season?
I would say for me, my philosophy is, schedule where you want to get to, not where you currently are, right? You want to challenge yourselves non-conference. It's 3 seasons. You got your non-conference season, you got your conference schedule, and then you got the playoffs. And everything you're doing is building up to the conference playoffs, and you want to be one of the, this year, top 6 teams. Previous years, it was top 4 teams. A couple years ago, we played Adrian College, a team receiving votes nationally, top 20. This year we played Marymount again. They've been a staple on our schedule. They were an NCAA tournament team last year. Those are big momentum swings for a team if you can pull out a victory like we did this year. When you get to conference and you're playing Chatham, St. Vincent, Allegheny and Grove City, those are the games that are going to make the difference.
In the past 3 games, you've posted double-digit figures, obviously. Big win, like I said last week, against Washington Jefferson. What is the key for the offense? And defense as well has been playing great, but what has the offense really been being told to, keep this train rolling?
We just want to make sure that we stay true to, who we are as a team offensively, right? Going into this game against Allegheny, going to be a much tougher opponent than, our previous 3. So, although we're going against these teams, you're expecting to, get a big win. You want to play unselfish. You want to get a lot of the guys, valuable reps, but you want to, maintain what you've been doing during this winning, stretch that we've had.
One thing I noticed is the freshmen, year in and year out. Last year was Ethan Kurst, Brendan Robinson. This year I saw a guy newcomer of the week. How does that feel knowing that your younger core is really just stepping up and filling in big shoes?
Yeah, I won't lie, it feels good knowing that, the recruiting, efforts are paying off. I just think it's a testament to me and my staff, right, getting out on the road, and then it's these guys believing in, what we're doing as a team. It's a testament to, what all the, previous Titans have done. They really set the foundation, and now, a lot of good, young lacrosse players are heavily considering Westminster.
What is the mindset you're going to give these young guys for a big game like this late in the season? Playoff push is coming. What can you tell those young guys that haven't been in that college playoff atmosphere before?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on with this game. Obviously for me, before I got to Westminster, I was the assistant coach at Allegheny. My current assistant, Dylan D'Amato, he was a player at Allegheny. For these guys, they got to know what's at stake, right? And there's a lot. If we win this game, pretty simple. We're the number 4 seed in the playoffs, and we're hosting a home playoff game. We've kind of been preparing for this team for, a while now, and got to keep believing and, got to go in with the energy because, Allegheny's got a lot on the line too. They could be the 6th seed, they could be the 4th seed, right? So, that's why we play all those games, early in the season, because those are the ones that test you. Those back-to-back overtime games. Those are some battle-tested games for these guys.
Yeah.
So just go and do your thing.
What it sounds like, that chasing those records, chasing that playoff spot, and obviously, Coach, it sounds like you have a pretty solid plan for your team. And I mean, I wish nothing but the best, especially in the playoffs. Hopefully, we'll be talking again, obviously. Like
Hopefully,
this.
yeah.
And like I said, Coach, good luck tonight, and thank you so much.
Thank you. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. That was head coach Anthony Accardi here on Titantown Sports.
We want to thank Coach Anthony Accardi for his time with RJ Scott. He's an influential coach, even influencing RJ's fashion there. They match head to toe, even with down to the white shoes.
The blue on top, khakis on the bottom really look good.
Classic look, man, absolutely. But like we said, Tom, at the top of the show, no shortage of athletic happenings here at Westminster.
Yeah, we started with Zach Kovell, just a great track and field athlete here for the Titans, 1,000 points in high school. Also there, Ethan Kurtz, Jon Albers having a little conversation. Jon Albers, a very successful year for this Westminster baseball team. In 8 games that he's pitched, the Titans have won 6 of them, Ben.
Yeah, and it's not uncommon to find a Titan pitcher on the mound that is just dealing. Titans always one of the better teams in the conference, and also really just Division III when it comes to pitching.
Yeah, absolutely. We're going to transition a little bit from baseball to lacrosse as the men's lacrosse team traveled to Allegheny on Wednesday night looking to clinch the number 4 seed in the conference and host a playoff game on Saturday. The Westminster men's lacrosse team ended their regular season with a big win. The regular season finale saw Ethan Kurtz lead the Titans with 4 goals en route to a Westminster victory, 13-5, the final score. The Titans broke the program win record, notching their 11th of the season, and will host Franciscan Saturday at 7:30 for the first ever home playoff game in program history, Ben.
Well, that's huge. Coach Anthony Accardi, every time we talk to him, he always says how badly he needs to get a home playoff game, and there you have it. So the Titans hosting Franciscan on WCN at 7:30 on Saturday evening. Can't wait for it.
A program record in wins 11 and the first ever home playoff game. How about it?
Yeah, it's a big week for Westminster. Also looking to clinch in their playoff spot is the Westminster softball team in the penultimate doubleheader series of the season. The Titans softball team headed to Greenville to take on Teal, where they had a season best 10th straight game won at the in game 1, winning by 6 innings and scoring 10 runs, including a pseudo inside the park home run by Morgan O'Brien following a throwing error. And despite a 7th inning rally, the Titans could not come back in game 2, dropping the nightcap 4-3. The split, however, does put Westminster to 17-3 in the PAC, 1 game above Geneva in the standings. The number 1 seed in the conference will be decided this weekend, Tom, in some final day drama. If Westminster splits against Waynesburg, they will host the PAC tournament. If they get swept and Geneva takes 2 against Franciscan, the tournament goes to Beaver Falls.
Pretty cool always to see a little inside the park home run, Ben. You mentioned Morgan O'Brien right there, but also in game 1, Cheyenne Piper, a perfect game. 6 innings, they won 10-0. A perfect game from Cheyenne Piper.
Yeah, she's been unbelievable her entire career here in the circle. Gets, let's call it her first collegiate perfect game. You never want to say perfect game, but we can maybe forecast some more incredible innings out of Cheyenne Piper.
Some breaking news also occurring out of Geneva. A new head men's basketball coach staying in Beaver Falls. Geneva announced that DJ DeMazzo will lead the men's basketball program. The news follows the retirement of the 30-year head coach Jeff Sanacero earlier this year. DeMazzo was the head coach at Division III Valley Forge University, where he led the team to the 5th highest scoring program in the nation in his final season there at Valley Forge. Now going to take over at the helm of the Golden Tornadoes.
Yeah, the birthplace of college basketball gets a new leader, Geneva College. Always a storied institution. Whenever you get to go there for Westminster, it's always a bit of fun, right? You get that big kind of a feeling. There's something in the air, and Coach DeMazzo, no doubt, going to feel that as well. He's a 2013 grad of Geneva. He and his wife played there. His wife was an OPAC volleyball player for the GTs.
Yeah, absolutely. You talk about Westminster, Geneva, a rivalry that has gone back for ages, right? So Jeff Sanacero retiring this year, now DJ DiMaggio taking over.
That's right, and also taking over will be the golf scene as the rounds 3 and 4 of the PAC Golf Championship will conclude this weekend at Mill Creek in Boardman, Ohio. The women look to make it 8 in a row following a very successful fall tournament where they are up 15 shots on W&J. Led by Katie Rose Rankin, the junior had this to say heading into her 3rd PAC Championship.
Having another PAC win would really, really benefit our team because it will just establish to our community how close-knit we are as a team and how well we work together. And being able to show everyone how much work we've put in and how we lift up each other during moments like this would just really mean a lot for me being an upperclassman and proving to our seniors that we can do it every year and to our underclassmen that they can work with a team, especially in this individual sport.
Titan men's golf also looking to make some headlines on the fairways. They're down 26 shots to the leading Allegheny, looking to make their way back onto the podium. The Gators lead with a score of 600. The Titans at 626. They're going to be looking to make up some shots on the green and the fairway.
Yeah, Ben, teams field 5 golfers each, and the lowest 4 scores in each round count toward the team total. So that's kind of your format for the golf playoffs. But Allegheny leading the pack right there with a 600 as their score.
Well, hard to forget, back in 2021 and 2022, Titan men going back-to-back, pack-to-pack, as they were kind of complimenting the women on their incredible golf streak, then losing by 2 shots in 2023. W&J won the pack. Allegheny was 1 shot back. Titans finished 3rd, 2 shots back. It was the tightest competition anyone's ever seen. So look if they can get back on top of that mountain.
You look at golf, it can get down so close, down to the wire, right? Especially in playoffs, in contention like that. We talked men's lacrosse earlier. Now time to talk some women's lacrosse. The Westminster women's lacrosse team won their last home game against Bethany on Wednesday. A big one for the Titans. 19-5 was the final score. It was the Titans' 6th straight win with 15 or more goals. The regular season finale will see Westminster travel to Chatham ahead of the PAC playoffs. If the championship tournament started today, the Titans would host Allegheny as the number 4 seed. So Ben, if the regular season ended today, you'd have the Westminster women's team as the number 4 seed and the men's team also the number 4 seed. So 2 playoff teams on women's and men's.
Yeah, a good amount of parity there on the UPMC Sports Complex. And few players are doing it better right now than Chloe Courinos. She's got a very interesting story about overcoming certain obstacles, and Emily Tallis has more.
Every athlete has a story, one that impacts the way they play their sport and the strength that most of us hope that we never have to find. For Westminster women's lacrosse senior attack Chloe Courinos, her life changed in an instant, first losing her dad at a young age and losing her brother her senior year of high school. 2 unimaginable losses, felt in ways that words can't fully capture. But in the middle of that grief is a story that isn't about what was taken, but about what remains, the memories, the love, and the determination to keep moving forward. Courinos shares about how she honors her dad and her brother every single day.
I think overall, as a person, both were really happy-go-lucky people, especially my dad. He was somebody who always had a smile on his face. And I think just pretty much living for them and them helping me kind of bring on that legacy and kind of shaping who I am today, just overall being happy and making them proud by always carrying that smile and living for them. Overall, I think that really shaped my life. In the athletic perspective, my brother, he was somebody he died my senior year of high school. So he told me all throughout high school, just keep pushing myself, and he believed in me. So I kind of was just as long as he does still, and I know he does, that kind of just really pushed me to come forward, especially to college.
A special and meaningful way that Courinos feels their presence is in a way that may seem odd to those outside of her bubble. It has everything to do with a coin, more specifically, a dime.
Every game I keep 2 dimes, 1 in each shoe. It's something that my family does, and every time we talk to them, or obviously I'm not talking to them in a game, but I think just bringing that onto the field with me really helps their presence be with me on the field, and kind of helps me push throughout the game and just kind of reminds me that they're still with me even though they're not here physically.
The dimes are a meaningful way that Courinos feels connected to her dad and her brother, and the backstory of the dimes is just as meaningful.
Whenever my dad first passed away, we kind of just started talking to him, and we would randomly find dimes right after we were done. And then whenever my brother passed away, it kind of carried on. And every time we find one, we put it in we have like a dime jar, so we put all of our dimes into that jar.
When Courinos tore her ACL her freshman year, and it's still being fresh that she lost her brother, she credits her team for being some of her biggest supporters and shoulders she can lean on in moments where everything felt heavy.
Definitely my team. They obviously helped a lot with supporting me and just kind of like helping me, get back to what I love doing most, which is lacrosse. And then obviously like my dad and brother, I think just knowing that I had somebody to be like working for, I think that's really what helped me as well. And just kind of continuing to push even though like I didn't know if I could. I think just kind of continuing that and having like a positive aspect on the whole situation.
Through loss, injury, and the everyday challenges that come with both, Courinos continues to show up with resilience, carrying not only her own strength, but the love of her dad and her brother with her in every single game that she plays. The dimes she finds aren't just coins, they're reminders, small but powerful, that she's still connected to them and they're still part of her journey. Her story is one of grief, but more importantly, it's one of perseverance. It's about choosing joy when it's hardest, finding meaning in the smallest moments, and playing for something bigger than the scoreboard. Because for Courinos, lacrosse isn't just a game. It's a way to honor the people that she's lost and a way to keep their memory alive every day.
Well, thank you to Chloe Courinos for sharing that very vulnerable story, and a nice job to capture everything and really show the emotion behind the game.
Yeah, she played a combined 4 games, in her first 2 years at Westminster. Now this year, 30 goals in 18 games. Just an incredible season out of Chloe Courinos. Also just an amazing story. Right now I'm going to think of that story every time I see dimes around, for sure.
Yeah, you have to. And I know you touch on Superstition Spotlight every now and then. And what does an athlete do to really get themselves in the right mentality for a game? Is it putting the right shoe on before the left shoe or whatever? But that one just feels a little bit more special for Chloe.
Absolutely. And 2 ACL tears as well. Just an incredible story to be able to come back from that.
No doubt about that, Tom. And obviously, someone else looking to come back is the Shenango High School Wildcat football team. They recently announced that they have a new head coach, Casey Hilton, hired from the Wilmington area high school defensive coordinator. He spent some time there, 11 years with the Greyhounds, 4 as the DC. He's the new head coach, the first head coach for Shenango since Jimmy Graham back in 2018. He is a 2014 grad of Wilmington High. And Tom, you got to know Coach Hilton a bit well with your time with the Greyhounds.
Yeah, absolutely. Coach Hilton, great guy to talk to. I interviewed him a couple times prior to games, but also been taking over for Coach Jimmy Graham, not the former NFL tight end, but the former Westminster quarterback. Yep. Just an incredible player here at Westminster. Holds the record for most passing yards in a single game, 364, second in completions, 218, and 5th in total passing touchdowns. So he's got just about every record here at Westminster in terms of passing. But Casey Hilton taking over for him at Shenango.
Well, never the wrong time to get some high school football news. But with more high school news overall, Ethan Kurtz is on top of, yes, Tom, on top of Old Main with a view from the tower.
I'm Ethan Kurtz, currently on top of Old Main. Yes, on top of Old Main here on the Westminster College campus. The perfect spot for a view over the high school sports landscape in Lawrence and Mercer counties. Let's get right into it. Beginning with some track and field news, Hickory junior Ashlyn Horvath tied the school outdoor record in the pole vault with a jump of 11 feet and 6 inches. It also won her gold at the Slippery Rock High School Invitational. West Middlesex junior Grace Stevens also broke records over the weekend, vaulting a PR of 11 feet 2 inches at the Butler Invitational. It breaks her own school record and saw her finish 4th at the meet. In softball action, West Middlesex met Maplewood Saturday. Harper Nickel pitched all 7 innings and tossed 13 Ks. Lila Kimmel and Allie Blanton both had 2 RBIs as the Big Reds win 7-4. To baseball we go as Parker Montgomery of Lakeview threw a no-hitter through 6 innings against Eisenhower, striking out 17 batters with just 2 walks. Eisenhower gets the bats going late, but it isn't enough as the Sailors win it 5-2. After heartbreak following a lightning delay versus Hickory last week, Slippery Rock rebounded with a 3-1 win over Mercer. Isaac McCandless struck out 11 batters and Bryce Calvert batted in 2 runs. Nolan Golub had 3 RBIs for West Middlesex against Sharpsville. Carter Stump batted in 2 for the Blue Devils, but it's the Big Reds that win it 6-4. Amber McQuistion struck out 18 batters and only gave up 2 hits as Elwood City Softball used a 4-run 4th inning to cruise past Quaker Valley 8-0. Wolverine baseball also saw dominant pitching against Quaker Valley, with Aaron Lake tossing 14 Ks. A 5-run 6th inning is the difference maker as Elwood City wins it 7-0. Union softball absolutely dominated in a sweep against Rochester. Olivia Williams went yard once and drove in 5 runs, while Corinne Shannon and Sarah Straley combined for the no-hitter in Game 1. Union win it 14-0. In Game 2, 3 different Scotties tallied 3 RBIs apiece as Straley and Sammy Comfort combined for another no-hitter. Union win Game 2, 18-0. Laurel played a 2-game softball series with Aliquippa and saw everyone contribute. In Game 1, the Spartans pitched a combined no-hitter and allowed just 2 hits in Game 2. Laurel win both games by the exact same scoreline, 16-0. Gianna Paglia pitched all 7 innings for Neshannock against Shenango, tossing 7 Ks and going 3 for 4 at the plate with 3 RBIs. Jalen Herman went yard for a 3-run homer for the Wildcats, but it's the Lancers that win it 5-3. Last Thursday, Anthony Eakin delivered a 2-out 3-run bomb to help Hickory take down Sarah Catholic 6-5.
That's all for this week's edition of The View from the Tower. I'm Ethan Kurtz in the Tower in New Owington for WCN's Titantown Sports.
I got 2 things to say about that. One, Ben, how about those Elwood City jerseys, all pinstripes? I'm a Yankee guy.
Eh?
I have to love those, right? But number 2, Ethan Kurtz just went from on top of the tower to inside the tower. I mean, how does he get around?
He went from here up to the tippy top of the tower, then back down to the bell tower. I filmed the intro, full transparency. I filmed the thing with the intro with him when he was on like the first level deck of the roof. I don't know how he got up there. I'm kind of worried about it. He can just get up there that easily, but he was up there. He had a great view over the high school sports landscape.
One of those high schools, Riverside High School, it opened in 1949 with just 15 classrooms. Lily Stenman and Derek McClafferty have more on Riverside High School.
Titantown sports fans, my name is Lily Stenman, and this week we are heading to Riverside High School to highlight the Panthers as our high school of the week. Located in Elwood City, Riverside High School has been serving the Elwood region since 1949. The school gets its name from its location along the Connoquenessing Creek and boasts a student population of over 1,300 students from Franklin, Marion, and North Sewickley townships. Riverside aims to provide a safe, nurturing environment where students are challenged to grow and excel across a wide range of subjects, while holding both staff and students to high standards. The school fosters a welcoming atmosphere that encourages a passion for learning and personal growth. With a wide variety of extracurricular activities, students have the opportunity to explore different roles and develop new skills beyond the classroom. One of those activities is the girls' volleyball team, which has recently made historic strides on the court. Emphasizing teamwork and unity, the team has risen to new heights this season. Led by a diverse group of athletes ranging from freshmen to seniors, the program is still relatively new, with its earliest records dating back to 2021. Despite that, the team is advancing quickly, defeating Laurel this past season to become section champions for the first time in program history. Westminster College will soon get an up-close look at Riverside's volleyball success, as senior middle hitter Susie Bishop has committed to joining the Titans volleyball team this fall. On the basketball court, that same toughness and teamwork define the girls' basketball team. While the program has faced challenges in the past, it is now on the rise. Just 5 years ago, the team recorded only 1 win. Now they have made the playoffs in back-to-back seasons. With a strong defensive presence and an exciting offense, Riverside girls basketball is looking to build on its recent momentum and continue its upward trajectory. On the diamond, the Riverside baseball team has been defined by sustained success over the past 5 years. With no losing seasons during that span, the program has built a reputation as one of the most consistent and disciplined teams in the region. The Panthers achieved an undefeated record in 2023 and finished as the top-ranked team in Pennsylvania in both 2023 and 2025. Known for their strong pitching staff, timely hitting, and fundamentally sound defense, Riverside continues to set the standard each season. The team is off to another strong start this year, with its sights set on extending its winning tradition and adding more accolades to an already impressive run. Across all sports, Riverside continues to demonstrate a commitment to excellence, resilience, and growth. Whether it's a rising program making history or an established team continuing its dominance, Panther athletics reflect the pride and determination of the entire school community. This has been another edition of High School of the Week, featuring the Riverside Panthers. For Titantown Sports, I'm Lily Stenman.
A nice small school feel right there with the Riverside Panthers. Just over 450 students, a 14-to-1 student-to-teacher ratio, and a 92% graduation rate. Impressive.
Not bad at all, yeah. And we appreciate Derek McClafferty, Lily Stenman, heading out to Riverside and all these different high schools for the whole year, really, they've been doing. It's been a great thing they've been able to do.
Yeah, we've covered so many different high schools and a lot of different athletes as well, Ben. It's time for our High School Athlete of the Week.
Yeah, that's right, Tom. Hickory senior Josslyn Hancock won the 100-meter dash at the Slippery Rock Invitational, and ran a school record that she used to have, running an 11.82 second time. Wasn't her only triumph of the day, however, as she also lowered her school record in the 200-meter to the 25.07 second finish. Both won her gold medals at the Slippery Rock High School Invitational on Friday. So once again, I feel like we just keep seeing more of these Hickory athletes standing out, shining bright. So well done by the Hornets. Well done, Josslyn Hancock.
It makes it tough even to pick a high school sports athlete of the week just because there's so many great performances. But now we've got our Titantown Sports Athlete of the Week. Cheyenne Piper threw her first collegiate perfect game, making her the Titantown Sports Athlete of this week. Cheyenne Piper, her perfect game. She also pitched one for Ligonier Valley High School on May 14th of 2024, where she had 14 strikeouts in an 8-0 win against Keystone Oaks in the first round of the Whitfield Class A 3A playoffs. She also surpassed 500 strikeouts in that game, Ben. The Titan offense in this game combined for 15 hits, but just an impressive performance out of her on the mound for a perfect game. Yeah,
we saw her there in a 6-inning mercy-ruled game, throwing 68 pitches, striking out the side right to start in the first inning, and then never really looking back. She's 14-3 on the season. In her last 7 appearances, 4 starts, yet to give up a run.
It's just pure domination, if you ask me. Last year's PAC Player of the Year and Newcomer of the Year as well.
Well, Tom, as baseball and softball heat up, so does hockey in the NHL, the Stanley Cup playoffs. It only feels right that we celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Westminster Club men's ice hockey team. So the Titantown trivia for today: what was the mascot of the Titan Club men's hockey team? Was it A, the Mighty Titans, B, the Bulls, C, the Arrows, or D, the Rockets?
Well, if it was a club team, Ben, they cannot carry on the Titan name because it's not an official NCAA sport. So I'm going to say no to the Mighty Titans. The Rockets feels not really hockey, that's basketball. Same thing with the Bulls. I'm going to go with the Arrows.
Let's see. It was the Westminster Bulls. It's a good trivia question. Glad I could stump you. Okay. I was hoping I'd get you there. I caught up with Denny Wolfe and BJ Fairman, players of that team, to find out more about the Westminster Bulls.
It's a team that time forgot. You won't find their remnants in this mural here behind me in the Westminster College Fieldhouse. 30 years ago, Westminster launched a club men's hockey team, only remembered by the players.
So getting the team off the ground was a little more than a year process. At the time, Hess Arena was an outdoor rink, and they had chain link fence where the glass would be. My sophomore year, 94-95, Hess became an indoor arena. They replaced the chain link with glass. There was a lot of us who were close friends who talked about how much we loved playing hockey and would love to be able to do something at the college level. So we began the process of building interest in the club hockey team by forming a men's league team, which would have been my sophomore year in 1994-95. We were able to generate enough interest, get people involved, so that the following year, my junior year, we got funding from the Student Government Association, and we were able to get our club greenlit.
Despite the best efforts of the team, they were not permitted to use the Titans as their official name, since they weren't a proper varsity club, a decision that at the time was not too popular in the locker room.
And we had asked the athletic department if we could be identified as the Westminster Titans, but the administration didn't want to have the Titans name associated with it, and we were kind of irritated by that because we were Westminster Titans, we were students there, and in retrospect, this probably was a smart move because we weren't very good, and there's nothing that would sort of bring down a brand worse than a team that was as bad as we were.
Well, the origins of Hess Ice Arena were an outdoor rink, meaning it would have been pretty similar to this, Lake Britain, and that's where the Westminster Bulls played. That was the name the team decided on, but according to leading scorer Brian B.J. Fairman, the team name was secondary.
I think we did a team vote for whether we wanted to be the Bulls, and we didn't care. We just wanted to play hockey, man. We could have been the Westminster anything. We just wanted to play ice hockey, the sport we love.
One of our teammates on there played in high school for a team that was also a club, and then it was the Ford City Bulls, and one of our former teammates said, like, hey, this is a really cool name, and I think he even leveraged the idea of the fact, hey, the Bulls are popular, why not? It was a core of about 10 guys. We're like, yeah, that sounds cool, let's go do it.
In their only season of play, the Bulls went 0-8, but the rowdy Westminster faithful lived up to their reputation, packing Hess Ice Rink in their first home game of the season and in school history, and providing some of the best memories on the ice for the players.
I think the fondest memory I have of it was the very first home game that we got to play. So our third game game at that point, we played Slippery Rock at home, and that was really the first moment where we felt like, okay, we've kind of made it now.
It was the first game when I looked at the crowd and everyone who supported us, everyone who came out, because that was the first game ever in Westminster College hockey history. Our games were always scheduled really late, like 11:15 p.m. We still got a good crowd. We played a good game.
Now looking down on the Westminster College athletic facilities, it's easy to be proud of what the Titans boast athletically. However, the question does still linger in the New Wilmington air. Is there a place for hockey at Westminster?
I always thought there was a place for hockey at Westminster. If you've got a dream and you want to have something happen, you put in the effort and you really try to follow through on things, it can happen. And I think if the right leadership and group of people come together at Westminster, the ice hockey club could be resurrected and there could be a team someday.
While there are no plans for the Titans to lace them up anytime soon, all it takes is one person with a dream and a fresh sheet of ice. For Titantown Sports and WCN, I'm Ben Kelly.
So, Ben, you caught up with some former players. One of those, Denny Wolfe, a senior managing producer at ESPN. Very excited about that team. But if they were to come back, what would that logo look like for Westminster hockey?
Well, it's funny. I said to him, the last question, is there a place for hockey at Westminster? He goes, absolutely. I go, well, make it the Bulls. He goes, do not make it the Bulls. The Bulls went 0-8. He said, try and get the Titans if you can, or write your own history. But still, I like the Bulls. So we had our graphics coordinator, Ethan Schoen, draw up a quick logo of the Westminster Bulls. I like it. I think it looks pretty clean. Right, good horn. You get the bull, you get the horns, you get the W, you get all of it. It's a good look. So Westminster Bulls, I'm getting out of here. Can you skate?
Yeah, absolutely.
Let's get you at Hess. Let's get some hockey going. Let's get the Bulls back in action.
Westminster Club hockey back in action. Maybe we'll see next year. Who knows?
Let's do it. Pack the rink, pack Hess, and go Bulls. We'll say it. But thank you to BJ Fairman and Denny Wolfe for your time. I told Denny he was going to be on Titantown Sports, and I go, I'll send you the video after. He goes, well, if you do, because he's a producer at ESPN, he goes, I'm going to judge it, and I'm going to give you feedback. And I went, oh, God, it better be good. So I hope, Denny, if you're watching this, hope you liked it, and we hope you all liked it here on Titantown Sports.
Next week, it's a special one, Ben. It's the last one of Season 3. This was Episode 14. Next week, Episode 15. We'll see you then.
I'm Ethan Pizzano. I'm from SGA and Sigma Phi Epsilon, and that was Titantown Sports. See you next week.